going on, guys? Papa Ray here in Papa Ray's Boom Boom Room. I really missed you guys. Last week and some of this week, I was in Fort Myers, Florida, back in my hometown, just visiting friends and family. I was itching to get back into this, making videos for you guys and talking about sports. Today we got Buddy. I'm sure he'll go away halfway through the video. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like and follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All those links will be down below with the name. I wanted to start off with another series, post-draft, and then the schedules were released earlier this week. I want to make my predictions on where these teams will end up, how they did in the draft, and we're going to go division by division. So we got 4 divisions per 2 conferences. First video we're going to start off with is the NFC West. They consist of the Arizona Cardinals, Los Angeles Rams, Seattle Seahawks, and the San Francisco 49ers. Pretty stacked division in itself. I feel bad for the Cardinals because it's such a hard division just to try to win the division, let alone make the playoffs. So first, we're going to start off with the Arizona Cardinals. Last year, the Arizona Cardinals finished 5-10-1. Their needs pre-draft were offensive tackle, defensive tackle, linebacker, wide receiver, and a running back, because they did get rid of David Johnson in that DeAndre Hopkins trade. That DeAndre Hopkins trade kind of helped out that wide receiver need that they needed. My opinion, overall draft for the Cardinals, I think they got an A. They let Isaiah Simmons slip straight into their hands. They picked up Isaiah Simmons in the first round with the 8th pick. Linebacker out of Clemson. They can play linebacker, edge, safety, corner, nickel. He can play it all with him, Buda Baker, Patrick Peterson back there. Chandler Jones. Arizona has a really nice defense. They also got offensive tackle Josh Jones out of Houston in the 3rd round. They also got Likai Fotu out of Utah, defensive tackle. That alone, I think that guy's a monster height-wise. So they're probably going to have one of the biggest defensive lines in the NFL. In the 4th round, they did get Rashard Lawrence out of LSU, defensive tackle. Like I said, another big guy. They're going to have a really heavy defensive line. They also got Evan Weaver out of the University of California, linebacker, in the 6th round with the 23rd pick. And like I said, if y'all been watching my other series, they picked up Eno Benjamin in the 7th round out of Arizona State, running back. They do have Kenyon Drake. I think Eno Benjamin, I'm telling you guys, this kid can ball. Eno Benjamin in the 7th round. He probably could have went undrafted, but I'm telling you, he's going to be the steal of this draft. If he develops like I think he will be a monster. My biggest questions for the Arizona Cardinals are, of course, their offense with DeAndre Hopkins. How that'll work, I think it's going to work great. Him, Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald. The defense was already pretty stout. Although I think they did finish dead last in defense, even though Chandler Jones led the league in sacks. Everybody else really didn't play their part. With Isaiah Simmons there and an improved defensive line, hopefully Patrick Peterson, and I think Buda Baker had a great year last year. Hopefully that defense can improve. That way they can let Kyler Murray do his thing with his new revamped offense. I think it'll be great. Next up, I got Los Angeles Rams. Last year they finished 9-7. Not too bad. I think they did miss the playoffs because the NFC was just so stacked last year with like all their teams were like above like 10 wins. So if you're not winning 10 games in in the NFC, you're not making the playoffs. Their needs before draft were offensive guard, linebacker, safety, and defensive tackle. Um, I think they went really quick in trying to find a replacement for Brandon Cooks and Todd Gurley. They got Cam Akers out of Florida State in the second round, running back, and then they got Van Jefferson, wide receiver out of Florida, also in the second round. Um, Another sleeper pick I had, like I said, Terrell Lewis was injured the first 2 seasons at Alabama. He had a decent year last year in Alabama, linebacker. They picked him up in the third round. They also got Terrell Burgess out of Utah, safety, in the third. Um, let's see, they got a tight end, Bryson Hopkins out of Purdue in the fourth. Jordan Fuller in the sixth, safety out of Ohio State. They got Clay Johnston out of Baylor, linebacker in the seventh. They also got a kicker out of the seventh round out of Miami, Ohio. And they got Tremaine Akram, offensive guard out of Clemson, in the seventh. This team is going to, I feel like they'll do okay. They'll probably finish up 500 or above 500. Of course, Aaron Donald's going to carry that defense. Hopefully, with Terrell Lewis back there, and they added a few good pieces, I think they will do okay. I just really need their offense to get it moving how they were in that Super Bowl run until they crashed. I don't think they have snapped back from that yet. We'll see how the Rams do. Next up, I have the San Francisco 49ers. Last year, 13-3, lost in the Super Bowl. Their needs, not too many needs. Safety, corner, guard, offensive tackle, linebacker. They didn't even really go after some of their needs in the draft. They did get Javon Kinlaw out of South Carolina, defensive tackle, in the first round with the 14th pick. That's going to immediately replace DeForest Buckner. They also got Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver out of Arizona State. He was, I think, like the number one wide receiver before the college season started. He was pretty high up there in the rankings. They got him in the first round as well. After that first round, they literally didn't have a pick until the fifth. They got Colton Mekovitz out of West Virginia University, offensive tackle. What is that? Warner out of Georgia, tight end in the sixth round, and then Javon Jennings, Tennessee wide receiver. Honestly, with the San Francisco, what they did, they're missing some wide receivers, and I think Brendan Ayuk is probably Deebo Samuel Jr. Not a bad thing, but I think that's all they really needed was probably another wide receiver, especially with Emmanuel Sanders gone. I think they can make a run at the Super Bowl again. Hopefully, we will see how that playoff run plays off. My biggest thing is probably Javon Kinlaw actually replacing DeForest Buckner. If he can, that'll be amazing with was it Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead there. That'll be basically the same exact team with a younger defensive tackle. So we shall see where San Francisco ends up next year. Last but not least, we got the Seattle Seahawks. Last year, 11-5. Like I said, if you're not winning more than 10 games in this NFC, especially this division, you're not making the playoffs. Their biggest needs were defensive end, defensive tackle, wide receiver, offensive guard, of course, and a safety. They went ahead and got Jordan Brooks out of Texas Tech, linebacker, in the first round. He's going to complement Bobby Wagner very well back there in the linebacking core. They got Darrell Taylor out of Tennessee, defensive end, in the second round. Damian Lewis out of LSU, monster guard, in the third round, and they really need it. I'm glad they filled that hole. That way they can help Russell out. Russell's great outside of the pocket. I feel like he'd be greater in the pocket when he's not rushed. So hopefully Damian Lewis can help him out there. Colby Parkinson out of Stanford, tight end in the fourth. DJ Dallas, running back out of Miami. In the fourth as well, Alton Robinson, Syracuse, defensive end. In the fifth, I see them stacking defensive end in the draft just because they don't know what Jadeveon Clowney is going to do, if he's going to come back, if he's going to sign with somebody else. So they're just reassuring themselves. And then you got Freddie Swain in the sixth round from Florida, wide receiver. And then you got Steven Sullivan, LSU, tight end, in the seventh. Topic for the Seattle Seahawks is just they are dangerous. I mean, Russell Wilson, no matter what kind of team he has, he's kind of like Aaron Rodgers. He just makes everybody better. So I feel with the addition to that defense, that guard, and I feel like they could have did a little bit better on wide receiver. But they're okay. Like I said, Russell Wilson's going to make plays regardless. So I look forward to them having a decent year next year. All right. And what I did, now that the schedules are out, I put them all together. Wasn't biased, just looked at who they're playing, who I think they will win against. It's just an opinion. I think, what was it? I shared it on Instagram. Skip Bayless did have his, or not Skip Bayless, Colin Cowherd. He had his predictions for this. He had the Seahawks 12-4, 49ers 11-5, Rams 8-8, Cardinals 6-10. My predictions were pretty close. I got Seattle 12-4, 49ers 11-5, and then I had the Rams 8-8 and Arizona 8-8. So that's pretty close to what Colin Cowherd had. So yeah, I think Seattle's going to take the division. 49ers are probably going to be in the wild card. But like I said, football, it's any given Sunday. These are all just guesses on how I think those teams did, how they improved, and assuming everybody's healthy, how I think the season will play off in this division, the NFC West. So I really appreciate you guys for watching this episode. I will continue having new divisions in with their draft grade and predictions of how their 2020 season, 2021 season will be. I really appreciate you guys for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. If you're watching on Instagram, go ahead and like and follow my Instagram. Like and follow on Facebook. Like and follow on Twitter. I appreciate you guys a lot. Buddy, appreciate you guys a lot. And thank you guys and have a wonderful day.